Talking about a revolution sounds whisper. Well, that's a pretty big project right here. Some big V8 engines in some of these old cars, so no wonder there's a fuel shortage on the island. But this is a beautiful town that you, for humanity's sake, wish could be better maintained. It is really crumbling in many of the areas. Oh, look at that. Orange skies over Havana. Hello MotoDreamers and welcome back. Guess where I'm going next? Did you get it? I'm going to Cuba. You're right, I'm here in Charles de Gaulle airport in Paris, heading to Cuba, La Havana, and this is gonna be a ride you wanna watch. So remember to subscribe, click the notification button, and then just follow along. Every week you'll get a new episode of one of the amazing journeys that we do with MotoDreamer. Take care. The next day. Okay, I made it to Havana last night and I'm just now enjoying a beautiful breakfast here in sunny Havana. This is what we came for. Warm weather, nice. Okay guys, we're in La Havana. And this is the old part of town. We're staying in a private pension here because of all our American friends that are on the trip. We are not allowed to use government-owned hotels. So all the hotels are actually government owned, but the Americans are allowed to visit on a support for the Cuban people visa waiver program, and that means we can actually bring Americans here, no problem, but we just have to organize the trip to stay in these private pensions, like a bed and breakfast, and that works really well. Really cool, really authentic experience. So yeah, you should come. I'm in Cuba, in La Havana, and this is the famous Malecon walkway that goes all down through the city here in Havana. And as you could see on the plate here, the US was very much involved back in the 1900s, just around the century, the change of the century, and up through the 10s and the 20s. This was like a big party hub for the American high life society and Hollywood stars and so on. And then came the First and the Second World Wars, and then the revolution in Cuba afterwards. And before the revolution, the American companies and corporations owned more than 35% of the land here in Cuba. And that's probably one of the reasons why the revolution happened. People wanted to win back the land and produce their own stuff. But with the communist rise and the way that the whole system works, and the embargo from the US, everything is falling to pieces. You can see big holes, the pavement everywhere, the houses are falling down, you can't buy anything in the markets. It's a sad sight. Could be a beautiful island just 60 miles off the US coast. But yeah, now it's just a crumbling old Spanish colonial town and island. You can definitely see how Havana used to be the capital for the Spanish king here in the New World. It's amazing buildings. Fortunately, it's pretty run down now, but I bet you we will get another heyday here once the embargo is lifted, and this will become free trade. This will blow up as a massive destination once they start renovating all these amazing old buildings and get more tourists coming in. Here in the busy city center of La Havana. And this is pretty much as busy as it gets, not super busy. So it should be fine on the bikes to make our way around the country. And I'm excited to get started tomorrow. Today we'll do a briefing in the evening, and then we'll go for a little city walk around tour tomorrow to see the highlights before we go and pick up the bikes. So I'm excited. Follow along and you'll see how the whole trip works out.
The next day. Next day.
Okay, so we're finally picking up bikes here in...
Only problem with him.
Yeah. Picking up bikes here in La Havana, Cuba. Let's go. Let's go. On the road again. Not many big bikes here in La Havana, Cuba. So what we got is these 700 GS bikes. So we've gone for BMW once again. This gives us a little bit more opportunity to go some gravel roads, mountain trails and some tracks. Should be fun. We're on the way to meet the rest of the group at a parking lot where the other bikes are at. Then we're gonna do a ride around La Havana for a couple of hours now in the afternoon. Get to try out the bikes where we are picking up the bikes. Getting ready. Picked up our bikes and everybody is gearing up, ready to go. Nice little park. Almendares. Little green oasis here. The outskirts of La Havana. I think we are heading out towards Hemingway's house. Not Hemminghouse. Hemingway's house. And we're gonna do a little stop out there and see his hacienda. So, supposedly it's left basically the way it was when he lived there. Nothing has been, no major changes have been made out there. So that will be exciting. We saw his favorite pub in La Havana, where he used to hang out and drink his mojitos and his other cocktails.
Before we continue the episode, I just wanted to give you a little background story about our little family-run business. We've been pioneering motorcycle adventures around the world the last 15 years, and we really appreciate if you would help us get the word out to more adventure riders around the world. We want to bring more people out on our amazing tours, and you can help us by subscribing to the channel, and remember to hit the notification button so you get notifications about the upcoming episodes. You can also share this video. You can comment or like on it, and it will help with the algorithm here on YouTube and get our videos seen by more people. So we appreciate all your help, and we hope to ride with you one day on an amazing adventure somewhere in the world. See you soon, and now on to the rest of the episode.
And we're talking huge monuments of the Cuban Revolution. Talking about a revolution sounds whisper. Yeah, check this out. Huge monument. Look at the buildings there. That's Chihuahua, El Che, and Mr. Fidel Castro on the buildings here, looking up on the monument.
And you're not allowed to fly a drone here. In fact, you're not even allowed to bring a drone in here. So how would you be able to fly a drone here if you're not allowed to? Anyway, we'll be filming a little bit. Okay, I think we got a naughty boy, and now the guard is coming here to tell us off. And now someone lost their glasses, so we're heading back to try and recover them. So I'm very happy that this day was planned to be get to know your bike, walk around city tour, and just a little bike trip around the city as well. Otherwise we would have been in trouble out on the route. But tomorrow at 9 o'clock we hit the road out of town, and everybody better be prepared. Whoa, at least there's something being built. It's not much, but that's a pretty big project right here. Here we go with the whole group. The famous Hotel Nacional right over there. And on the left hand side is the Caribbean Ocean and the Malecon, as it's called, the boardwalk, the famous boardwalk along the ocean side in Havana. And straight ahead there is the old famous Hotel Nacional. Alright, Malecon, the famous boardwalk in La Havana. And here you spell it with a B, not a V, so La Habana. And that's pronounced like a V, but it's spelled as a B. In Spanish you pronounce that like a V, de vera. So, yeah. Little language lesson here. So do remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to follow these vlogs, and please make comments or like the video below. And if you subscribe, please remember to hit the notification button, and this way you will actually get notified every week when I upload a new episode. This one is the series from Cuba. We're on episode 1, and more to come in the following weeks. I hope you will join us.
10 days with Mike, very well taken care of. The trip was really well organized. Mike is kind of like the big brother you want to take to a third world country. Make sure you're done safely. He's got your back. It was fantastic. Fantastic. We're planning more trips with Mike already. Awesome.
Thanks, Mike. It was awesome. Loved it.
We got 12 bikes, 10 amazing customers with great stories to tell, and our local guy Luis, mandated by the Cuban government, and then yours truly here in the back, picking up the scrap, making sure everybody gets in safe, while we are making our way here down the Malecon to the entrance of the port. As you can see the big fortification there on the left hand side. This is actually the entrance between the fort and where we're at into the port of Havana, one of the most protected cities in the Americas for a long time, and one of the biggest fortifications back from the European era. Good? All good? Some big V8 engines in some of these old cars, so no wonder there's a fuel shortage on the island when the supplies are not really being delivered from Venezuela. Venezuela itself is in a major crisis, so yeah, probably won't get too much help from that side. But it has stabilized a little bit. I heard that the prices went up about 5 times over the last year on fuel, plus there's a shortage, so you have to pay dearly even if you can get it. But this is a beautiful town that you
for humanity's sake, wish could be better maintained. It is really crumbling in many of the areas that could be so spectacularly beautiful if kept maintained. But there are also some pretty nice buildings here and there that have stood the time, the wear of time, and it's absolutely worth spending a day or two or three here in Havana, just walking around, checking out all the old neighborhoods and the amazing colonial era buildings, some of them 500 years old. Cathedrals and churches, definitely meant a lot in old colonial times, and till this day, I guess, it's a fairly Catholic country, Cuba, like most Latin American countries still are. So I get the honor of being Mr. Sweep. What does the sweeper means? Well, in my book it means that you are dead last no matter what, and you cannot pass the second last rider at any point unless there is a clear understanding. But the sweep must always be the last guy. This means that the guy in front can look back and see that if the sweep is there, everybody in between should be there. It means if something happens to anyone in the group, the sweep is there to help, whether it's a flat tire, an injury, dropping the bike or getting stuck in traffic, whatever. The sweep will be there and help out. It's quite nice to have two bikes working on a tour. It takes the pressure off the front lead and the sweep. Yeah, I can hang back and enjoy the ride, but have to be ready at any time to jump in. Caribbean Ocean, right here on my right hand side. The sun is setting about half an hour, I guess, or less. Comes down quick now. And straight ahead, you can see the Havana. I guess we're coming back from our round trip test ride towards the city. There it is, the beautiful Caribbean Ocean. I believe this is the beaches where the English came when they took over Havana for a while. Up here on the left hand side we have the fortress. So these were the beaches right here. The English came up and over the hill, and then for weeks they bombarded Havana on the other side until they were able to conquer and take over power. Let's hit the road. We're on the way back to the hotel before the sun sets over the Caribbean Ocean. There are a couple of people on each side here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. One more missing, the last one. That's just me. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Orange skies over Havana.